How's it going, everybody? JoJo here from Rifles, Rods, and Broads, and we just wrapped up another episode with a California legend, Phil Friedman.
Man, I don't know about that legend crap, but this was a great show. You're going to love it. These guys asked some very pointed questions, and I was so happy to be here. I know you're going to love this show. I'm honored to be on Rifles, Rods, and Broads, and it comes out April the 15th, tax day. You can't forget that.
Aloha from Rifles, Rods, and Broads.
Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to Surfside, California, here in Southern California. It's a beautiful morning, but it's foggy and kind of damp. So much to talk about. Did the Polaris Supreme find bluefin tuna? We'll delve into that with you. We've got some great fishing south of the border. The yellows continue to bite really, really well. We've had a lot of early season white sea bass action going on here in SoCal. Did that continue? What about halibut fishing? Both on the sport boats, private boats, and here in the surf. In fact, real close to me, they're catching some pretty good halibut. And we've got a lot more. Let me get set up on this foggy, damp, kind of cool morning. I'll be right back with the MB. Before we get started on today's morning briefing, don't forget, if you're headed to Ensenada, you're going to want to give Zeke Casas a call. Only 15 minutes from downtown, but just check out that spectacular view while in Ensenada, Baja California Norte. And if that garage door is giving you a problem, then you're going to want to call your garage door man. That's Joe Welker. Tax problems? Nobody better than our friend Tim Marquez. Tim's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give the tax man a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to talk to our dear friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. And it is truly great to be with you. Yeah, it's a little foggy and cold, but I think there's going to be some good catches made here in Southern California. And I mentioned it was kind of cool, but really all this fog and cloud cover kind of is keeping a little bit of the warmth in. It's not that bad at all here. As you can see, I'm in a t-shirt and swim trunks here this morning. It's absolutely just another great day in SoCal. Hey, don't forget to hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Share these videos with a friend. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. And of course, tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. Please follow us over there on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Delish, good morning. Great to be with you. Thanks for spending some time with me here today. I know it takes a lot for you to join us every single day, but man, our numbers are just increasing to the point where my gratitude is soaring to each and every one of you. A reminder that I'll be at Day at the Docks, walking around down there Sunday in San Diego, California. Day at the Docks is a true celebration of sport fishing. My son Philip, who just had his birthday yesterday, is going to bring Bowden, my grandson, down with a couple of other friends. So I'm looking forward to going over and visiting with Jolene Thompson, because she's going to be there where the kids can fish for mackerel and some other species of fish that they have there. So that's going to be fun with Jolene and Bowden and Philip. It'll be a real ball. And Paulina, my co-host when I'm in Mexico, she's going to be there at the Mag Bay Lure booth. Be good to see Paulina. And the world famous Scott Bucher. Scott's going to be at the Friends of Rollo booth. Scott has donated and dedicated a lot of hours to the Friends of Rollo organization. Does a great job getting kids out fishing. Scott, we will see you on Sunday. That should be a really great one. Also, I want to remind you, a great surf fishing tournament coming up. That is the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club surf fishing tournament. Those guys are fantastic. They have a barbecue lunch and banquet at the end of it. It's a full week. It goes from May 24th to the 31st. I have a post on Friedman Adventures with a QR code. It's easy to sign up for. It's inexpensive. and it's going to be an absolute ball. Go to Friedman Adventures on Facebook. You'll see it. Might have to scan down a little bit if there's breaking news, but please check that out. And of course, I'll keep you in touch with all the latest. All right, let's talk Mexico. Then we're going to get to the Polaris Supreme. We were able to run down Jason Lawler, the galley cook, on board the Amigo, who went white sea bass fishing. We'll have details on what he did yesterday also. Down in Mexico, we continue to see some really good yellowtail action. And sometime, at some point, it's going to bleed into Southern California. I really think we're looking down the barrel of a great yellowtail year here in SoCal. And we'll just have to wait a little bit longer. Down in Cabo, a few more striped marlins starting to show up. Water's starting to warm up down there. We've got some yellowfin tuna offshore. You find a dolphin pod, and with that pod, yellowfin tuna that want to bite, about 25 miles offshore for in most cases for that. And also along the Coast Sierras, some roosters, also some improved fishing for yellowtail. We see yellows down there in La Paz, Baja Pirates, with some exceptional yellowtail fishing and, some pargo and cabrilla to go along with it. We've been telling you all about Andrew running Seat Dog charters out of Loreto. Wide open yellowtail with good cabrilla fishing in the shallows also. And same thing in Mulegé, we see it. We see it up in Santa Rosalia as we continue to move you up the Baja coast, or I should say peninsula. And then finally, San Quintin. Those yellows are biting again. In fact, I was talking to a Ponga operator down there, and he says there's a lot of yellows here right now. So good fishing, and a lot of that fish is on the surface iron, up in the water column, becoming more active as we get you into the springtime. So that is all really good stuff. We're loving that. Ensenada, the yellows there pop up from time to time. It lacks consistency right now, but hopefully as time goes by, we'll see more of it. There's been some decent bass fishing out of Ensenada for both calico and sand bass, but the vast majority of guys down there are fishing rockfish and doing really, really well. Lings and reds and, you name it, Mexican reds and just all kinds of great bottom fishing going on. And that also applies to Popotla, which is a 15-minute drive south of Rosarito Beach. They've been doing really good. Our friend Carlos Cortez from Cortez Sport Fishing, he's been doing a really great job. Carlos likes to keep the Coronado Islands, keep a check on that. He's always out there checking for yellowtail. Carlos, if he has his preference, is going to fish bluefin or yellowtail or some game fish. But he's an excellent rock fishing captain, also does a great job there. Cortez Sport Fishing, Popotla, Baja California. Don't forget, on September 19th to the 21st, Paulina, my co-host, and yours truly will host all of you down in beautiful Ensenada for a weekend. It's going to be great with fishing and going to Husong's and some of the local eateries where gringos normally don't tread. It's going to be really a lot of fun. I hope you can join us if you want information on that or any of our charters. And we're pretty much full now, but if you'd like to get on a charter with us or go to Ensenada, just send me a text right now. Send a text to 657-227-6459 and just tell me what you're interested in. If you're interested in all of the above, just say, send me all the info you got, and I'll text it right over to you. Do that right now. All right, let's talk Polaris Supreme. And they are out on a 3-day trip right now. We're watching that very, very closely. Have not heard a word out of Aliar and the Polaris Supreme so far that leads me to believe they didn't catch. You never know. Sometimes they'll sit on account for a little bit. And who knows, maybe in text down below right now, you're reading that they conked them. But normally, when you don't hear anything, it's not a good sign. Kind of like what went on yesterday with Jason Lawler, although he did catch some sea bass. And there was just a couple of guys on his private boat. But right now, we're watching the Polaris Supreme very, very closely. I know Max Nui and the Pacific Voyager have a 2-day trip this weekend. And Max, of course, has got his ear to what Aliar is doing. If he catches some bluefin, Max would probably run on that. We'll have to see how that all plays out. If he doesn't, Max has just been putting the wood to the lingcod. His last trip, 15 guys, 75 lingcod, and that was an overnight trip on a 2-day trip. Max, if he has good weather, is going to catch limits of lingcod. So what is going on with our bluefin tuna? because there's been a lot of it around. I mean a lot. If you hearken back to last year, around the full moon, and we're moving up on that right now with the Grunion Run going to manifest itself here April 12th through the 15th. If you hearken back to that full moon, that fish got off the bite with great regularity. You could almost predict that it wasn't going to bite on the full moon last year, and it looks like we may be seeing some of that because we are seeing pretty good amounts of fish. We'll see how this all plays out. The best score of the year so far came on the Polaris Supreme, 40 bluefin tuna about 6 days ago, and that was at night on the jigs. So we'll see if Aliar didn't get a hit last night, doesn't seem like he did, or if he gets one tonight, because he'll be moving around. That guy is one hell of a fisherman. He works hard out of Seaforth Sport Fishing. We'll see if he can't come up with a hit as we watch him very, very closely. Coronado Islands down there out of San Diego. We've been watching that for you very, very closely. And at the islands, we have seen very few yellowtail taken here recently, but the San Diego out of Seaforth Sport Fishing in San Diego is moving up on the islands right now, headed down to the rock pile area. We'll see if they can't come up with some fish here this morning. Best score so far this year, 8 yellowtail on board the San Diego. There's been fish taken on the yo-yo iron, so deep, surface iron, obviously on the surface, on a dropper loop bait on the bottom, fly line bait right on the surface. Been a variety of ways. The few yellowtail that have been taken have been caught, so we'll keep our eyes on those Coronado Islands. Long range fishing. The Independence is down below. They've been picking off a few really nice big yellowfin tuna. They had extraordinarily great wahoo fishing about 6 days ago. We're watching them very, very closely. They've had some inclement weather down that way, and it's led to some slower fishing, but we're watching it closely for you all. We'll keep our eyes glued to that. I'll be on board the Independence April 21st through the 26th, bringing you live updates and so much more. That is going to be so much fun. I can't wait for that. Man, I'm really looking forward to that trip. Sold out, by the way, as is our 8-day trip in November. So hurry, send me a text if you'd like to join us on a 2.5-day trip on board the Apollo Reverse out of San Pedro, 2-day trip out of Seaforth Sport Fishing in September. Perfect time of the year. Or join Paulina and I for that great trip down to beautiful Ensenada, Baja California. All right, let's get up into this neck of the woods and talk a little bit about what's going on locally. And of course, the rockfish bite has been absolutely magnificent. From below San Diego, we were talking about Ensenada and all those guys, all the way up to the Channel Islands and beyond. Great rock fishing has been the rule. When you get good weather, you're going to catch rockfish, and it looks beautiful here this morning. I know it's foggy. I'm talking about, when I talk about weather, I mean, it could even be raining right now, and I'd be saying it's beautiful weather because I want to see a lack of wind and smooth ocean. And I can see that even in this low visibility here this morning. Kevin Brannon. Kevin is a fantastic guy doing great stuff out there. He's been working so hard in this industry for so long. He was on board the Gentleman fishing a jig for rockfish. He goes over the tackle and a lot more. How about I turn it over to Kevin for one moment, and then I'll be back with lots more. Take it away, Kevin.
Picked it up where we left off. With that right there, the 400. No bait necessary. Nice grouper, 3-pounder or so. Ate the blue jig, the Havasu diamond jig, rockfish, eating it. Day 2, 65-pound braid. Little bit of mono, just enough so you're not tying directly to the braid. That's where I cut off my dropper loop yesterday. Tie the little top shot to that. Salt diamond blue jig. We'll eat that one up real good. Fish tacos coming up. Delicious. Pick up exactly where we left off yesterday. Different spot at the hidden reef today. Nice big delicious rockfish. Alexa 400, 65-pound braid, a little top shot, salt diamond jig. Let's go.
Thank you so very much. We deeply appreciate it. Up on the Coral Sea out of Santa Barbara, they had 2 white sea bass, 25 lingcod, 19 halibut. What a day, and a bunch of rockfish to go along with that. I don't know how it can get much better than that. We've seen rockfish, and a little bit more halibut on several boats. First of all, the Dolphin out of San Diego, they fished straight halibut. They had 5 halibut on their halibut run. On board the Native Son, they had 3 halibut yesterday. The Pursuit at Catalina Island had a bunch of rockfish and 1 halibut, so we are definitely seeing a little bit of that spread around right now. Dan and Kim, we love these guys, man. They are the best, and they're down there fishing their private boat out of San Diego, California. What a great day they had on the water with tremendous variety. They had copper rockfish, Mexican red rockfish, they had vermilions, and a partridge in a pear tree. Dan and Kim, I knew you'd like that. Really great fishing for 2 really wonderful people who always make the world a better place, no doubt about that. And how about Wayne Shimabukuro? We're switching over to Lake Havasu for a moment, but I've been wondering, where is Wayne? Why isn't he here? And we have found Wayne, and he's putting the wood to all kinds of fishing, eating ribeye steaks, rubbing it in on me. He's there at Lake Havasu catching bass and catfish and crappie and so much more. Really having a great time. The High Tide group is having a really fun time at Lake Havasu. Good to see that. Jeff Perea, right down there. You see that tower down there? Hell no, you don't see it. It's too foggy. But that tower is right down there. Anderson Street, a Pacific Coast Highway. And Jeff was down there and picked off his first halibut ever fishing from the surf. A beautiful 21-inch flatty, just a little bit short of legal, but nice going, Jeff. Really happy you were able to pull that one off. He was fishing 12-pound fluorocarbon with a camo gulp worm. How about that? And a Carolina rig to catch that flatty. I've seen a lot of guys throwing lucky crabs and chrome crocodiles coming up on that grunion run. You know those grunion are staging out there right now, so everything gets active. And then ultimately those fish, the grunion that is, come up on the beach, and so do the predators. It could get exciting. So a lot of rockfish going on. Now, we have skipped over white sea bass because we need to talk to you about white sea bass here in Southern California. It is a reality, the Aloha Spirit yesterday, with limits of white sea bass. The Amigo on Sunday out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, limits of white sea bass. Aloha Spirit out of Cisco, same place the gentleman is out of, where you saw Kevin Brandon doing the rockfish jig fishing seminar. We'll call it that right here. So there's been a lot of white sea bass around. Now, Jason Lawler is the galley cook on board the Amigo. He's an extraordinary chef. He's an extraordinary friend. He went there yesterday. I won't say where, even though the cat's kind of out of the bag, but I'm not going to be the one who divulges where the bite is going on. Jason went. He went 1 for 3 on the white sea bass. 1 for 3 on the WSB. So it sounds like that fish is still there. Tucker McCombs yesterday on the Endeavor out of Ventura Sport Fishing got in a little bit late, he felt like, but still caught several white sea bass. So the sea bass thing is for real. And we're hoping we're going to see more and more of it. There's a lot of squid around, and it's been dropper loop fishing with a live squid. You can fish fairly heavy line, anything from 25 to 40. Some guys will fish 60. Some guys will fish 80. Some guys will fish sea bass and claim it's not a problem getting a bite on 100-pound and just winding those fish in. They're nice, great fish for the most part. We see a few smaller fish, but we see a lot of 25 to 40-pound grade white sea bass, and that's good stuff. The Amigo scheduled tonight for a trip to go sea bass fishing. They're leaving out of 22nd Street Landing, and then they turn around and do it again on Saturday night. So we'll be keeping our eyes on this. And as the day plays out today, we may see some early results on this sea bass bite. And of course, I'll have it for you on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page, TikTok, and here on YouTube also. So make sure you follow Friedman Adventures in all those venues. Some really good fishing up there towards San Francisco, out of the Berkeley Marina. Right hook sport fishing with really good striper and halibut fishing up there in San Francisco. They get some hellacious bites on the stripers and the halibut up there during this time of the year. And it just gets better and better and better. It really gets good up there. I love that bite. And those guys are just starting to get on it. Several other guys also in on it up there in that neck of the woods. All right, lots of rockfish. Monte Carlo half-day boat out of 22nd Street Landing. They'll be out doing their thing, as will everybody else. I'm assuming the rockfish fight's going to be pretty darn good. We still need to keep tabs on the Polaris Supreme and see what they're up to. Maybe they got a hit. I don't think so, but we'll keep our eyes on it and see. And they'll be at it again this evening. So we'll see how that all plays out also. And again, the evening update right here from the beach. I'll be here tonight at sunset, checking out what went on during the day today with you all. And of course, special updating you throughout the day on all of our social media platforms where you're going to want to join us. I will see you in San Diego on Sunday. Don't miss that Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club surf fishing tournament. We'll put together another surf fishing day here very, very soon. And of course, if I don't see you at one of those venues or events, I hope to see you somewhere else really, really soon. Take care and have a wonderful day today.